Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to an ESPN NFL 2K5 franchise rebuild with the Detroit Lions, and we are flying high, coming off of Week 5 after our thrilling overtime victory against the Atlanta Falcons, and we have our rivals, the Green Bay Packers, coming up next. Taking a look at our injury report, we do have Terrence Holt and Boss Bailey out. We did sign Sam Brandon to a little contract to replace Terrence Holt since we are a little short in that safety position, and you can see the tail of the tape right here between these two teams. It is a little bit of an uneven matchup, but the Falcons were better than us on paper as well, and we ended up beating that team. So let's see if we can repeat the magic here in Detroit against the Green Bay Packers. And I welcome you all to Ford Field back here in Detroit, Michigan for a thrilling matchup between NFC North rivals, the Green Bay Packers, visiting the Detroit Lions. Nick Barnett holding down the linebacker core for the Packers, and Earl Holmes hoping to have his first breakout game of the year for the veteran linebacker. Let's go to the coin toss. The Packers, the visiting team, call tails. Let's see where the coin toss goes. The toss lands on heads, and the Detroit Lions will take over for the first possession of the game. In the first play of the game, Corey Schlesinger takes it up the middle for just 1 yard. And on the 2nd and 9, Harrington throws complete over the middle to Rodgers. There would be a penalty on the play, roughing the passer on the Green Bay defensive line, and that would give the Lions a first down from their own 41-yard line. Moving forward, taking that 1st and 10, Kevin Jones gets his first carry of the day, runs it to the left side into absolutely nothing, gets taken down for a loss of 3 thanks to Nick Barnett. 2nd and 13, Harrington completes one over the middle to Rodgers for 23 yards. Brock Marion, the player that we traded away to the Packers, in there on the tackle for their 2 second-round picks over the next 2 years. Jones gets the drop the middle for 6 yards, and on the 2nd and 4, Harrington, looking for someone, gets his pass intercepted by Nail Diggs, and the Packers immediately strike and take the ball back over at their own 33. Favre throws a screen left side to Ahmad Green. He's taken down by our new signing, Sam Brandon. 2nd and 7, Green takes the toss to the left side. He's got some room to work, and he gets 11 yards before Dre Bly and Sam Brandon combined for the tackle. 1st and 10, Green Bay 47. Green runs it to the right side for 4 yards. Brandon and Bryant getting in there for the tackle. And on the 2nd and 6, Green takes it again, and he's going to get over to the right side, and he gets about 7 yards before being taken out of bounds. Brandon trying for the tackle, didn't quite get him that time. 1st and 10 in Detroit territory from their own 42. The backup Najee Davenport goes up the middle for 1 yard. Curry in there on the stop. Favre dropping back finds Robert Ferguson complete for 17 yards, tackled by Sam Brandon. And on the 1st and 10 on their own 24 this time, Donald Driver gets the pass complete for 16 yards. Dre Bly on the stop. 1st and goal for the Packers. Favre passes to David Martin, complete, but he runs out of bounds for a loss of 1 yard. 2nd and goal. Favre throws it to the end zone. It is caught, but out of bounds by Ahmad Green. The refs call it no good. They will not challenge. And on the 3rd and goal, Favre throws to the end zone, and Dante Curry almost takes it back for the Lions, deflected away for the 24-yard field goal, up and good by Ryan Longwell, and the Packers are on the board first. 3-0 is their lead as the Lions take back over for possession. On their own 20 again, Harrington goes deep to the right side, underthrows Roy Harrington. That one almost picked off by the Packers. 2nd and 10 now, the Lions trying to get something going. Schlesinger only gets 1 yard again over to that left side. Navy's there on the tackle. 3rd and 9, Harrington is sacked by Hunt, and a couple of those Green Bay Packers broke through that offensive line, and honestly, they didn't even really try that hard. They just stand up and let the big guys through, and they take Harrington down for that loss of 4 yards, and the possession goes back to the Packers. And the Lions strike back right away. Big Dan Wilkinson gets to Favre for the sack for a loss of 4, and then Green takes the draw up the middle and gets most of those yards right back for an 11-yard gain, taken down by Cash. And on the 3rd and 3, Ahmad Green was not satisfied with the fact that he didn't get the first down. He loses Teddy Lehman on the juke, and no one else is going to come close to touching him. 15, 10, 5, all the way into the end zone for a touchdown for the Packers right before the first quarter ends. And the Packers have struck again and are up 10-0 here at Ford Field, and let's take another look at that. He just loses Teddy Lehman with the juke. It gets a good block from his lineman there on the secondary, and then he is absolutely gone. Edwards has no chance of catching him as a defensive end, and Ahmad Green gets into the end zone on the back of a 50-yard touchdown run. 1st and 10 from the Detroit 19. Harrington passes to Rodgers. That one is dropped on contact. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Jones gets the call. He gets up the middle, makes a man miss, gets tackled after a gain of 4 yards by Ahmad Carroll, and that takes us to the end of the first quarter. Packers are up early here at Ford Field, 10-0. The start of the second quarter, a 3rd and 6 for the Lions. Harrington trying to find something, and the defensive tackles of the Packers strike again. The sack is credited to Jackson for a loss of 1, and the Packers will take back over. Favre hits Green to the flat, but it is incomplete, bouncing off of his shoulder pads, and on the 2nd and 10, Favre looks like he jumped over the line there to pass it to Henderson. It would be a gain of 1 yard. We wouldn't worry too hard about that, and on the 3rd and 9, a deep pass over to the left side is deflected away by Dre Bly, and the Lions will get the ball right back. They are not out of this one yet, but passes like that will not help. Harrington incomplete to Williams on the left side. Jones takes the run this time, gets 5 yards, helped by the tackle of Darren Sharper, and on the 3rd and 5, trying to keep the drive alive, he does find Roy Williams. There would be a pass interference call on the play that the Lions would decline. 1st and 10 from the Detroit 40. Jones takes the ball, gets 1 yard on the play. Another short run for these Lions. 2nd and 9, Harrington looking for someone through the air, throws it over to Roy Williams, deflected away by Harris. Great play on the ball by this Packers secondary. 3rd and 9, Harrington looking for Rodgers again. He has him open, and he drops it on the contact. Again, Rodgers had a tough day with holding on to the football, and so did our defense. Sam Brandon had the opportunity to get an interception on Brett Favre right there. He drops the opportunity, and on the 2nd and 10, Favre finds Donald Driver on the floater for 13 yards. 1st and 10, Green Bay. They get the green to draw. They get the draw to Green. Oh my goodness, they're scrambling me by how much they're scrambling us on the run, and he gets a good gain of 13 on there. And on the second run in a row, he gets the toss to the left side for 6 yards. Green draws in the middle again, this time stopped quickly for a loss of only 1. Hall and Holmes there on the stop, and on the 3rd and 5, they get the stop in the form of an errant pass from Brett Favre, and the Lions get the ball back. They need to score if they want to get back into this one. Jones doing his part, gets up the middle for 4 yards. Darren Sharper on the stop. 2nd and 6, Harrington looking for his tight end, Steven Alexander. He gets the pass somehow through that little window, complete for 9 yards. Another defensive pass interference would be declined. We throw over to the right side to Roy Williams. This one bounces off of someone's hands, incomplete. We had a man wide open over the middle there. Jones gets another chance to run it. He gets 3 yards on the tackle from Navies. 3rd and 7, Harrington trying to keep the drive alive, throws it over to the right side to Harrington. He threw it a little bit too hard, and Harris pops that one away. Again, bouncing off of the hands of Roy Williams. 1st and 10 from the Green Bay 24, and they continue to find success on the ground. Green getting to the right side on the toss for 15 yards. Sam Brandon stopping it from being an even bigger run, and they go straight back to the toss, over to the right side. Another gain, this one for 13 yards. Teddy Lehman once again saving it from a bigger drive and a bigger touchdown. 1st and 10 from the Detroit 48. Favre passes to the left flat for Henderson, who manages to save it to only a loss of 1. It was looking a lot worse than that when he first caught the pass. 2nd and 11. Favre, another float up to Donald Driver. He makes Sam Brandon pay, and he gets 21 yards before Dre Bly is able to take him down. You can see this pass again, right in momentum, just says, sit right down, my son Sam, and the Packers have a 1st and 10 from the Detroit 29, and same play, same result. This time, Walker gets the pass. He puts his shoulder into Sam Brandon. I'm seeing a running theme there, and he is into the end zone for another Packers touchdown, and this one is quickly getting out of hand for the Detroit Lions. You can see that little shoulder truck stick right into the chest of Sam Brandon. Welcome to the league, my friend. It is now 17-0, Green Bay Packers. The Lions, hoping to do something here before the half ends, end up getting another sack for Hunt and a loss of 2, and that brings us into halftime. We're not out of it yet, but it is looking like we are on the precipice on a blowout, but we need to score. We need to score quickly. Going into halftime, the Lions are down 17-0. You can see here on the tail of the tape, it's tough to look at when you actually look back at it. We only have 66 yards going into halftime to Green Bay's 229. The time of possession is pretty equal. We did throw the 1 interception, but it should be closer than it is. Let's see how we can do in this 3rd quarter, or if we have more of the same. We get a 6-yard run from Green on the draw, and the crowd here at Ford Field seems to already know what is going on. On the 2nd and 4, it seems like Favre tried to throw it to his lineman there, and we would get a turnover on downs and get it back to the Lions. The Harrington pass deflected by Joey Thomas there. Another running theme of Roy Williams getting a lot of passes and not really being able to do anything with it after that monstrous performance last week against the Atlanta Falcons. On the 3rd down, Harrington is able to find Hakeem, complete for 8 yards. Harris saving it from being more, and the Lions manage a 1st down. Jones getting the draw on the 1st down. He runs to the right for a loss of 1. Nick Barnett having a great game in there for the tackle. On the 2nd and 11, Harrington finds his rookie, Derek Hamilton, complete for 15 yards. Brock Marion gets the tackle there. On the 1st and 10, Jones draws it to the left side, makes a man miss, and gets 6 yards out of the run. Schlesinger gets the call. He makes one person just sit down on the turf, but gets tackled quickly for the right side, no gain. And on the 3rd and 4, Harrington trying to get away from Grady Jackson, and Grady Jackson puts up potentially one of the most athletic plays I've ever seen a man who potentially weighs 300 pounds do. You see that absolute leap, shoestring tackle for the sack, and the Packers will take back over. Big Sean Rogers, feeling left out, gets the tackle on Green at the line for no gain. And Fernando Bryant deciding to play a little bit of defense, deflects the pass away on the 3rd and 10. Favre looking to keep the drive alive, gets Curry to almost intercept the pass again. That's his second play where he almost put both of his hands on it, and the Lions take the ball right back. Jones not really getting much onto that draw up the middle, only gets 1 yard out of it. 2nd and 9, Harrington passes it to Hakeem, and he drops it on the contact. Another running theme of this game. 3rd and 9, Harrington trying to keep it alive, has Rogers with a step in front of everyone, and he drops the ball on the contact once again. The secondary of this Packers team gave our receivers absolute fits today, and there were lots of opportunities that we absolutely wasted in terms of incomplete passes via drops on contact. Green gets an 11-yard run on the first play of the drive, gets 6 on the second play. Earl Holmes finally getting into that tackle stat column, and on the 2nd down and 4, Green runs right again for 10 yards, and on the 1st and 10, Green Bay 49, Favre passes to Green on the flat. He gets 8 yards out of this one. Bryant barely getting him to go down before he gets a good gain. And then Najee Davenport takes the backup run. He gets 36 yards out of this one. Chris Cash barely coming in to save the touchdown. And we have a 1st and 10 from the Detroit 13. Davenport again running up the middle. He gets met by Holmes and Rainier. And that is going to mercifully bring us to the 4th quarter. No scores from either team here in the 3rd. Still 17-0 going into the 4th period. 2nd and 8. Favre passes to the right side, deflected by Cash this time, and we have a 3rd and 8. Favre looking around, throws it up to Javon Walker, who has another touchdown in his hands. 11-yard strike. He lost his man on that cross route over the middle, and the Packers are officially turning this one into a blowout. We had a little hope until now, and now it's not looking as hopeful for us. We are down 24-0 as this 4th period gets going. Jones gets 2 yards on the run to the right. Harrington looking around, tries to pass it, has Roy Williams again, and just overthrows him this time, just outside of his outstretched hands. And on the 3rd and 8, Harrington has Hakeem with a step on the defense, and this time he manages to hold on to the ball for a completion of 29 yards. Harrington pass complete to Rogers this time over the middle for 14 yards. Darren Sharper there to get him down. 1st and 10 from the 38. Harrington rolls left, skies another one up to that left side to Rogers. That one off of the hands of either the defender or Rogers. We couldn't quite tell. 2nd and 10. Jones gets the draw play, gets some space, runs right for 4 yards. 3rd and 6. Harrington throws it to Rogers. He catches it and is brought down for a gain of 10 yards by Brock Marion. 1st and 10 from the Green Bay 24. Harrington is sacked and he is down. He is injured on the play. It looks like it's an injury on his non-throwing arm, so we can only hope that he is not out for that long, and we are in dire straits now with our quote-unquote star quarterback going down. Jones gets the run up the middle for just 1 yard. 3rd and 14 coming up. Mike McMahon, our backup quarterback, throws it up to Williams, and again skies one just outside of the hands of Roy Williams. McMahon this time finds Rogers over the middle, who catches it, and on the hit is called a fumble. It is recovered by Green Bay. McMahon would get back for the tackle, and I don't even think we needed to challenge that one, because if we had gotten the ball back, it would have just been a 4th down. And maybe that was a mistake, because we immediately give up another touchdown to the Green Bay Packers. Ahmad Green gets a nice juke move. He goes up the middle and then towards the right side for that gain of 67 yards. Charles Rogers is absolutely apoplectic, as it was his fumble that led directly to this touchdown, and you can see that big juke move to send Walker all the way to the other end of the field, and Sam Brandon and Fernando Bryant don't have a hope and a prayer to catch up to the speed of Ahmad Green. He's gone for 67 yards, and this one is getting very silly very fast with the Packers up 31-0. 1st and 10 from the Detroit 20. Jones trying to get something going, and he just doesn't. 1 yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9. McMahon looking deep and left for Roy. Overthrows him yet again. Roy just had a tough showing today. And on the 3rd and 9, McMahon once again having Hakeem open over the middle, who catches it, gets hit hard, and another fumble is called when it rains, it certainly pours, and it is raining hard here in Detroit. Davenport, the backups are officially in for the rest of the game, gets a toss to the left side for 5 yards. He gets the counter to the right side this time, and they get no gain on the play. Walker there for the stop. 3rd and 5, Davenport runs to the left side. Dre Bly there to drag him down for a gain of just 1 yard. And Ryan Longwell, the scoring just wasn't enough. He needed a little bit more. A 51-yard field goal is good, and the Packers are officially up 34-0. The Lions trying just to get a garbage time touchdown. They don't want to bring it all the way back to get shut out here in Ford Field, and that's not how you do it. Mike McMahon throws the interception to Bawad Joe, and the Packers, not feeling like they've done enough, are trying for the end zone one more time. 1st and 10 from the 17. Davenport gets to the left side for 12 yards, and on the very next play, Davenport runs 5 yards, gets a little jump hurdle into the end zone, and 41-0 is going to be the final score in this one. Mama said there would be days like this, and in the rebuild, sometimes you're going to get your absolute booty handed to you, and that is what happened here. So we're just going to try and move on from this one and try and bounce back next week. You can see here the Packers just absolutely did whatever they wanted. Favre barely even needed to try. 287 yards on the ground, and 4 turnovers from us certainly doesn't help. Harrington was 8 for 22 for 122 yards and an interception before he got hurt. McMahon came in and did nothing. The 2 completions he threw were fumbled by his receivers, and he threw an interception. Jones did what he could. He had 18 attempts for 51 yards. Not a great day on the ground, and Schlesinger also just struggled mightily. You can see Ahmad Green just absolutely ran wherever he wanted. 18 carries, 231 yards, and our run defense needs help. Charles Rogers had 4 receptions for 60 yards. Hakeem had 3 for 56. Williams only had 1 reception and was targeted 9 times. So after having an absolutely world-beating game against the Falcons, he came back down to earth in a big way. And on the defense, our new guy, Sam Brandon, 5 total tackles, 3 passes defended. He did get run over a couple times, so that is a weakness that we're looking to get forward to get Terrence Holt back into that lineup. And then Earl Holmes ended up with 6 total tackles, so I guess highlighting him at the beginning of the episode was right by the game because he did a-okay. And all that said, we're going to take a look at our injury report. Jerry Harrington out for a month, at least a few games. And we'll look forward to Mike McMahon doing what he can against the New York Giants next week. So thanks for coming out for this episode of the ESPN 2K5 Detroit Lions Rebuild. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I do live stream these games, so if you ever want to come out and hang out for these live streams, feel free to. And we will see you on the next one.